but still I knew you'd gone. The door stayed open just enough for me to notice you moved on.
I watched the evening fill the room with everything you didn't say. Some absences arrive like storms and others just slip away.
Your voice still lingers in the walls, but never answers when I call.
It's the silence you left behind that speaks the loudest every time. No bitter lies, no last complaint, just quiet that still holds your name. It's not the loss I can't define, it's the silence you left behind. Your sweater still hangs near the door, like memory forgot to leave. I try to breathe through softer days, but all they do is softly grieve.
You didn't mean to haunt the light, but somehow it still bends your way. I move the chairs, I change the song, but silence always stays.
The air is thick with what we were, but thinner than the space we share. It's the silence you left behind, the kind no closure can unwind. No echo shout or final scene, just rooms that hum with what has been. It's not the leaving I rewind, it's the silence you left behind. I speak but only walls reply, still waiting on your last goodbye.
You didn't know your side would stay pressed inside the walls we shared. I kept it like a folded note, unread but always there.
I never meant to speak that way, but silence made it sound so sharp. Some words escape before they form, then echo through the dark.
And even now, in separate days, they circle back in quiet ways.
They were echoes we didn't mean, carried through the in-between. Not quite anger, not quite pain, just things we never said again.
Now every pause and every scene still rings with echoes we didn't mean. Your laughter lives in stairwell turns, it lifts and falls like yesterday. I try to walk without the weight, but memory won't look away.
I wore the silence like a coat, too warm for what we meant to be. And in the sleeves I still can feel the words you almost said to me.
Some truths don't land, they pass
we didn't mean.
You spoke too soft, I held too tight, and now they echo through the night. You didn't mean.
There was a glow behind your eyes, a kind of truth I wasn't brave to meet. You opened doors, I stood outside and let the silence take my feet.
I waited near the path you knew, but never walked, though it was clear. You spoke in almost paused goodbyes and made your absence feel sincere.
We could have moved, we might have stayed, but both our hearts just looked away. You were the light I didn't follow, a flicker warm, too wide, too hollow. You called in ways I couldn't hear. I blinked and you were gone from near. No burn, no flame, just quiet glow. You were the light I didn't know.
I wasn't asking for forever, just a hand that didn't flinch. But you mistook the dawn for danger and left the moment on the hinge.
I see it now, too late to change. The way your voice grew dim with doubt. Some loves don't break, they just remain unchosen. Paths we don't walk out.
Not every ending comes from loss. Some start with fear, then just get lost.
You were the light I didn't follow, the near that never turned too close. A warmth that I was slow to borrow, a chance I let turn into ghost. Now every dust reminds me so of the light I'll never know.
Some lights don't fade, they just move slow
And stay with us where we won't go. We spoke like fog across the bed, half words fading as they fell. You smiled like nothing slipped between, but something did, we never tell.
I noticed distance in your hands, the way they stopped returning mine. You didn't leave, not all at once, but piece by piece, without a sign.
Some goodbyes wear no sound or shoes, they drift in slowly, room by room. When we forgot to hold on, the light just faded, not turned off. No final scream, no slamming door, just silence we could not ignore. When we forgot to hold on, we didn't even know it gone.
I tried to reach you in the dark, but all I touched was morning's chill. Love doesn't shout the way it ends, sometimes it just stands still.
You used to hum beneath your breath. Now even silence has more sound. I search for us in Sunday rooms, but echoes were the only ground.
We didn't break, we just dissolved, like letters washed by sudden rain.
When we forgot to hold on, we watched the closeness come undone. No last confession, no regret, just all the things we both forget. When we forgot to hold on, love whispered that it was gone. No fights, no flames, no reasons why, just empty hands and muted sky.
Waited by the window light, where all your shadows used to fall. The silence wrapped around my spine, like you never left it all.
I almost called but left it there, between a breath and empty sound. Some truths are softer when unsaid, but they still echo loud.
We danced on words we never spoke, and pauses neither dared to break. I felt the weight of almost love in every step we didn't take.
Your voice stayed quiet when I needed noise, the kind that breaks, not fills a void.
You looked like answers I could trust, but turned away when it was us.
You never said goodbye out loud, but something in your stillness did.
I memorized the shape of loss in places where your silence lived.
I folded notes I'll never send, and left them where the moment ends. You were the start I didn't keep, a name I only meet in sleep.
We whispered truths behind closed lips, afraid the air would make them real. But even quiet hearts will break if silence all they feel.
Your voice stayed quiet when I reached for sound, like something sacred, not allowed.
We almost made it through the blur, but couldn't name
and slow, the words you never let me know.
You touch my arm like nothing changed. Still laughed at jokes we used to trade. But something soft inside us dimmed like morning fog we can't explain.
We didn't say the words out loud, but silence trembled on your lip. You smiled like it was just a light, but it was more than just a shift. The room still glowed with yesterday, but time was already slipping gray.
Before the light turned cold, we still pretended we were whole. Our fingers touched but didn't feel the truth beneath what we concealed. And though the air grew thin and slow, we stayed until the light turned cold.
I traced the shape your laughter made across the rim of coffee stain. But nothing stays the way it was when hearts forget how to believe.
You didn't cry, and neither did I, but still the silence felt like tears. Some endings never say goodbye, they just dissolve into the years.
A glance, a breath, a held and paused. That's how we learned we'd both been lost.
Before the light turned cold, you looked at me but didn't hold. We smiled like strangers at the door, like something we don't name no more. No fights, no flames, no truths told. Just fading light that turned too cold. It didn't hurt the way it should. It just left less than we thought it would.
You pass me now like morning mist, half formed, half felt, still incomplete.
I see you in the light that shifts, but never in the steady beat. Your voice still hides in empty cups, in rooms we both forget to name.
We never said what needed said, but silence learned to take the blame.
And maybe love was in the pause, the breath we held but never caught.
There's something left between us still, not quite gone, not standing still. A quiet space we never filled with words we
still, I hear you in its undertow.
Your name remains without a frame. I touch it when I fold the sheets.
No photograph could hold the part you bury where our silence meets.
Some closeness isn't made to last, but lingers in the things that past.
There's something left between us still, a soft regret we couldn't kill. We moved apart but never far, still circling where the endings are. You're not here but not quite gone. That's where this quiet lingers on,
Between what's lost and what we feel.
There's something between us still. You reach for me like closing light, familiar but too far to hold. I felt you like a borrowed heat that left me when the room turned cold.
I brushed your sleeve without a word, afraid the words will make it break. Some closeness lives in quiet breaths and vanishes the breath you take.
There's no goodbye in every part, just absence stitched into the heart. You were the touch that didn't stay, the warmth that slipped before the day, a fleeting shape, a borrowed light that flickered once then left the night. We held the space but not the flame.
Now only shadows know your name. I carry still the wavelets press of fingertips that came then went, like music paused before the chord, or letters never full.
You trace the edge but not the core, a ghost of feeling in your skin. And now that distance wears your face, where tenderness had once been in.
Not all departures close the door.
Some vanish quietly through the floor. You were the touch that didn't stay, like early wind that went away. No ending line, no soft regret, just contact I can't quite forget. You brushed the
Sky then disappeared and left your silence buried here.
Some hands are never meant to stay,
But still they never fade away. The room leaned in, the clock stood still. You looked at me, then looked away. And in that pause, the sky grew dim, like even time had lost its way. I could have moved, I almost did, but something quiet held me back. A breath too long, a glance too short, and everything went off the track. It wasn't loud, it didn't break. Some regrets are soft, not fake.
You let the moment go, just when it bloomed. just watched it rest and fall. We shared the silence like a sheet, but couldn't lift it up at all.
I waited for the words to land, but all I heard was empty air. Some chances asked for nothing more than knowing how to simply care.
It wasn't wrong, it wasn't right. It disappeared between the lights. You let the moment go, like when that passed but didn't show. A stillness full of could have beens that never even let us in.
I held my breath, you closed your eyes, and that's how all the sparks went blind.
It only takes one choice too slow to let a hope forever go.
We touched like guests in borrowed light, careful not to leave a trace. You smiled like it was almost real, but not enough to find its place.
I learned your voice, but not your name. You whispered dreams in future tense, and though I held them close to skin, they faded in the present tense. Some hearts are only meant to pass, like rain that slides down broken glass.
It was never ours to keep. We danced on cliffs too steep. We lit the fire, but not the flame. We kissed without a name.
It wasn't wrong, it wasn't deep, but still it haunts my sleep. You stayed just long enough to stay inside the corners of my thought. I never called you anything, but everything you weren't, I saw it.
You never made a single promise, but silence sounded close to one. And even though you disappeared, the not quite love is not quite gone.
We never said that we belonged, but still it felt a little wrong. It was never ours to keep, just something in too deep. No vows, no ties, no closing door, just echoes on a distant shore. And though it wasn't meant to be, it still feels part of me.
Some things aren't broken, just released, like what we had and couldn't keep.